Yo, what's good? It's Andrew from ProducerSociety.com. Today I'm going to show you guys how to make a metal song in GarageBand. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you the two foundational steps that you want to take in order to get this done. So, and what they are is, I would say they're just recording the guitar riffs and then using the metal drummer or the hard rock drummer, and that's going to give you like the foundation of a metal song, you know, because that's kind of the main thing of a metal track, right? It's like you have your guitars, and that's like the backbone, so to speak. Well, obviously the drummer is the backbone, but what I'm trying to say is that the guitar, it's a guitar focused music. So anyway, we'll just come up with some random riffs, and then I'll show you what you would do. There you go. We'll do something like that. So you want to make a riff and you want it to be on time, right? You want to play it along with your metronome, because otherwise it's not going to sound good. You're not going to be able to load the drummer track up. So you want to make sure that everything is on time, and that way all your instruments are cohesive and they sound good together. In the case that they aren't, what you can do is you can go into your time quantizer like this. You can actually enable flex, and then you can separate things manually if you wanted to. So that's something that you can do. Another thing that you can do is you can actually download Melodyne, as I said in my article. Make sure you check all that stuff out. So if you don't have Melodyne, you have to download it from the website. I already have videos on how to do this stuff, so make sure you check it out. But anyway, what it allows you to do is it allows you to print the music into the software using this transfer button, and then once you're from there, then you can actually like analyze the music. And what that does is that you can position the music even more than what's available in the quantizer function in GarageBand. But anyway, it's a great software to use. So now that we have something made up, I'm going to turn that monitoring button off. Sorry, we got a riff right there. And then you want to load up your drummer track, right? Got a new drummer track right here. And then you just kind of go through and you figure out which one sounds the best. I'm using the hard rock drummer, Anders. And then, you got your intro riff right there, I guess. And then, so let's load up a different riff. Let's just make up another track right now. Yeah, so we'll do something like that. It's probably going to be a lot faster now. So I'm going to go down into the track, and I'm going to go show tempo track, and then we're going to adjust the tempo like this. We're going to drop it down. We're going to go way up, I imagine. We're going to go way up to like 160 or something like that. Let's see what that sounds like. So there we go, we got something made up now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit the cycle button like that, right? That way we can record as many takes as we want. And that it's going to make it a lot easier to record. There. Let's try the second take. I think it was the second take that sounded the best. Yeah, so that sounds alright. We'll go with the second take. Delete unused takes there. So what we're going to do is we're going to load up a new drummer like this, just for the new section. And I'm actually going to use a different drummer. I'm going to use the punk rock drummer because he's a lot faster. There. So what we're gonna do is I'm actually gonna hit follow on it and see how that sounds. It might sound a bit better. Audio 2. By the way, I got a present for you. Go to producersociety.com/free mixing cheat sheet. That'll put you on my list to get a free mixing cheat sheet. And I send all kinds of cool tips and stuff that I don't share anywhere else. You can also join my forum at forum.producersociety.com. For now, it's totally free to sign up, but in the future, I'll probably lock it down and then turn it into a full course platform. Yeah, that sounds alright. So what we're going to do now is we're going to just record another riff. Go audio down like that. Let's bring this tempo back down. Bring it down to a more reasonable level. We'll go down to like 120, I guess. So let's go. So that kind of sounds cool. Let's figure out what the BPM would be of that. Let's actually bring it down a little bit. I think it would be much slower. Let's go down to like 95. There. So let's do something like that. Let's go, let's cycle in like this. That way we can record as many takes as we want. You notice how important that is. I find that it's really important for recording stuff. So let's go. So there we go. Now we got something recorded. Let's figure out which one sounded the best. Bum 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 bum. So this is where the time quantize comes in, because I was a bit off there. So we're gonna hit enable flex, and I'm gonna see if I can like pull this over like just a bit, you know. We're gonna pull that over just a little bit. See how that sounds. It's probably gonna sound bad, but we'll see. So I'm not gonna mess with it actually. I'm gonna leave it the way it is, but that's how you would do that. You could use your enable flex, or you could use Melodyne if you really wanted to. So let's add a new drummer then. Let's do another one with Anders. Let's see how he sounds. No, not Max. Anders. Let's go. Create new drummer region. So we're gonna go like this. Drop that back, and then yeah. Audio 3. So yeah, now what we're gonna do is I'm gonna re-record that, except I'm gonna play it along with the drummer. That way we have an idea of what it sounds like, or excuse me, that way it sounds better. So that's another thing that you can do here, is that you can actually record your riffs, and then figure out a drummer, and then actually go back through and record the riff back with the drummer, if you know what I'm trying to say. So yeah, let's get rid of the tempo track and let's try that again. Let's start recording from here. I'm going to put the cycle button on, and then we're going to delete that and we're going to start again. So now we're gonna see which one sounds the best. Go take 3. I think that one sounded all right. There we go. So we're gonna go with this. So anyway, let's come up with something else. Let's come up with like a track to go over it or something. I should probably figure out what key I am in for sure. So yeah, I'm in the key of D minor. So let's come up with something right now. I'm just gonna wing it. So yeah, we'll go with that. So anyway, that's kind of just a baseline of what you would do, you know, if you wanted to make a metal song. Obviously, I just kind of making stuff up off the top of my head. So it's not the best, but I mean, it just gives you an idea of what's possible when you put a lot of work, or excuse me, when you put work into it. So for instance, like if I now, like from here, what you do is that you would let's get that audio device out of there. So now what you would do from here is that you could, there's a lot of stuff you could do, right? So first of all, I would label all these. I would label all these guitars, and that way that's clear what they are, because that's going to save you a lot of time and headache. We'll go fast guitar riff, and then let's what was that? Chorus. Jesus. And solo riff. So yeah, and then from here, let's say you wanted to load up like a synth or something, right? So you could go down into your synthesizers, go soundscape, and then you could go, let's do Event Horizon, all right? Let's try something with that. So right away, that it's already sounding kind of cool, right? So let's pull this down like that. Let's go. Yeah, another thing that you can do is that once, let's say, like this is like the basic song that I've created, okay? So what you want to do is you go down into, you could turn your drummers into instrument MIDI files. So by that I just mean like you're going to separate them, okay? So you're going to separate them like this. And then now you actually have the MIDI file for the drummer kit. And then what you do is you can actually like let's say you just wanted so you just want the kick, right? So when you just want the kick, you just like isolate this note right here, or excuse me, you delete all the rest like that, and then you just leave the kick like this, and then you keep doing that for each part of the instrument, and then you separate each one into a new instrument file. So I'm gonna show you I'm going to put the link to the other video in my video description. That way you know how to do that. But anyway, and then once you do that, you can actually start like panning and doing stuff like that. So you can pan all your instruments. You can use compressors and dynamics processors to get everything to sound cool. But yeah, and then in terms of all this other stuff too, like you can adjust your panning to make it sound a little bit better. But yeah, so this is like the baseline of how you would do a like a metal song in GarageBand. I don't really know what else to say about it. At some point, I guess I'm gonna make like an actual metal song for real, and then I'll do a tutorial on how to mix one and how to make it sound pretty cool. But yeah, ultimately that's it for this tutorial. I hope this was at least somewhat helpful to you. I'm not used to making videos like this, so it's a bit difficult for me. But anyway, so make sure you check out the article as well on my website, and I really run through some kind of stuff that you could use, as well as plugins and useful amp modelers and stuff that are really helpful to have. Okay, so now we're going to talk about the next part of the video. We're going to talk about just some of the plugins and stuff that you want to use, as well as amp modelers and things of that nature. But so if you check out my article at producersociety.com, I run through a lot of the stuff that you may want to look at in case you're having problems hooking your guitar up to GarageBand or things of that nature. So I have this article here, how to plug your guitar into GarageBand, where I really lay down pretty much everything that needs to be done regarding the output and input and the preferences and the monitoring button and problems you may run into, and et cetera, et cetera. So I've really dived into that. So that's definitely worth considering if you don't know how to use, or if you don't know how to plug your guitar in. And I also give you some audio interface ideas. So you have like the iRig HD2, and that's what I use. I think it's great. Except it's made out of plastic, which bugs me, but it's still a nice little device. Then you have the Focusrite Scarlett 2i2, which is good if you want to have two inputs, because of course the iRig only has one, right? I'm not going to show you guitars because you can get your own guitar. I use the ESP Eclipse or the PRS SE Custom 24. Both of those are good. And then, as I showed you in my video, I have the Line 6 Pod. Now there's updated versions of this because this thing is old. Like, this thing is very old. I think I bought this excuse me, like 6 years ago maybe. And at that point it was already 10 years old. So you can actually get this updated one right here, the Pod, the HD 500X. It's a lot newer. Some people have problems with them, but they just have this like Line 6 bias where they don't like anything that's made from Line 6, which is just kind of a thing for some people. Anyway, and then so here's what I use for my monitors. I use the ER3 SE from Etymotic. These are like high quality reference studio monitors, except they're earbuds, so they aim to be flat. They aim to have a flat frequency response, which makes them really dope for mixing and for listening to music. I mean, I really love these headphones. I use them for everything now, because I just like to have an accurate depiction of what the audio sounds like. That way I have, like, I'm using them to reference, essentially, which is what they are. I'm using them to essentially study other music and listen to other people's mixes, and then occasionally I'll listen to my own music with them on. That way I'm getting an idea of what they sound like in comparison to other music. So I really like using them, and they're good for when I take a break and I just decided to like mess around on my computer and make music with GarageBand. So I find them great for that. Then I also use the iLoud micro monitors, which are just over there on my desk. I didn't include them in the article for whatever reason, just because I don't think it's necessary. But they're definitely worth. I love the iLoud micro monitors. They're fantastic for making music and mixing and whatnot. Then you also have the ATH Audio Technica headphones, and these are great if you want something that's over the ear. But anyway, I don't want to talk about the gear anymore. Now I want to talk more about kind of like the plugins. So you got like the Blue Cat Audio Destructor. This is not a free plugin. I think it's like $60 or something. You can grab it off my website or off eBay or wherever you want. But this is an amp modeling plugin, and it's like a distortion plugin essentially. A lot of people swear by it, and I think it does sound pretty good. But keep in mind, it's not free. But if you're serious about making metal songs, like if you're really serious about making metal songs, stuff like this is great for you. There's a lot of options to make really great sounding tones. If you want something that's free, you got the Lapoo amps. You can grab them off VST for free here, and there's a ton of them. You can download all of them if you want. I think the 456 is kind of where it's at. That's the most metal one, I would say. But just go through them, download each one, and then you'll have an idea of what you like. It's got a Canadian flag on this one. This Poulin guy must be Canadian. And then, for your bass, you have a Forefront bass. Unfortunately, I couldn't get the Ample Bass P-Lite 2 plugin to work. Because it sounds fantastic. You can look up what that sounds like online. It sounds so realistic. So I was very disappointed that I couldn't get that bass guitar to work. But yeah, the Forefront bass is just slightly better than the bass that comes with GarageBand. Unfortunately, it's not that great, but it's it's okay. But that's definitely something you can check out. DSK also makes a bass, but it's not that. I don't think it's that amazing either. Also, you got your Complete Start. That's just like a series of sounds that you can use to fill out your metal songs. You got ambient sounds and like extra keyboards and stuff like that, flutes, a lot of stuff. And as I already talked about, you got Melodyne 5. I'm not going to touch on that too much because I already talked about it in the video. Then you also have a Bob Perry noise gate. This is a more serious noise gate than what GarageBand has to offer. You can also get it for VST for free. And then you have Superior Drummer from TuneTrack. Admittedly, I've never actually used Superior Drummer, but this is something that a lot of people, especially in like metal, like to use. It's not free, but it's definitely worth checking out. I'm sure they have a trial version of it somewhere. And then you also have the Ignite Emissary and the Ignite Nadir. Now these are two. This is an amp modeler, and this is an impulse response loader. So a impulse response loader is just a plugin that imitates microphone positioning. So for instance, how your microphone is positioned on the amp, so like right on the center, on the right hand side, on the left hand side. So an impulse response loader is just imitating that. It's just imitating how how the microphone is on the amp. And then obviously this is an amp. This imitates the amp. But these are both for free too. You can check them out. I have the link on my website here. And then also a really handy thing to have is the Logic Remote. You just download this with the App Store, and it's pretty good, man. It works pretty good. And if you use an iPad, it can almost like turn the iPad, from what I understand, into a full control surface. So that's definitely something worth checking out. If just because it makes it easier to hit play and record and stuff like that. That way you don't always have to like reach at your computer. And then so this is what it looks like when I set up my guitar. I just have it connected to the HD2 from iRig, and the Line 6 pod is down here. I also give you some ideas of what riffs to use if you're not familiar with the metal genre. I talk about like the breakdowns and like the galloping riffs, as well as some chord, like a rhythm section for underneath a lead section. So for example, you'd have these chords right here, right? And then you'd have this rhythm section right here that I just made up in like 2 seconds. But in terms of things that you want to remember, make sure you tune your guitar before you record, because you want your instruments to sound in tune with each other. It's very important, obviously, that they sound in tune. It's one of those simple tips that you think, oh, you kind of roll your eyes at it, but it's not. It's legit. Like, tune your guitar before you start recording pretty much every time. And also you want to figure out the song's BPM or your riff's BPM. That's going to save you a lot of time whenever you come up with a new batch of riffs. And as you've seen in the part of my video, like you have your cycle button. That's pretty much essential when recording in GarageBand. Like if you're recording a guitar part, you got to have that cycle button turned on as much as possible, because I don't know, you can record 7 takes if you have to, or 10, or you just keep recording and it's all good. You just choose the best one after. So what else do I got here? Yeah, also, if you need drummer track help, just make sure you check out my tips and tricks for the drummer track, which is linked in my article as well. I run through all kinds of stuff in this article. And frankly, that's kind of it, What else do I want to talk about here? Also, in my article, I said you should eliminate feedback protection. This is up to you. Like you can get rid of it. However, it does do something weird. Like if you eliminate feedback protection, like the other day I was recording without it turned on, and all of a sudden like the computer just crashed. right in the middle as I was playing, and I think it might have had something to do with the feedback because it made some like crazy noise. Then it just crashed, and then I had to restart my computer. So use that advice at your own risk. Use it at your own peril. What are some other things that I could talk about here? I'd really recommend checking out Glenn Fricker's channel. He has a lot of cool plug-in videos and information that is very useful. Let me find it right here. I don't remember what his channel is called. Ads. Yeah, Spectra Sound Studios. I recommend checking him out. He's got a lot of good stuff. From what I understand, he's a Windows user. He doesn't use Mac, and he hates it, I think. I'm not sure 100%. But, yeah, I would recommend checking him out. He's got all kinds of stuff that talks about metal. But anyway, I think that's all for this video. Make sure you like and subscribe. And if you liked it, like and subscribe. If you didn't, like and subscribe anyway. I really appreciate it. It takes a lot of work to make these videos. In the future, I plan on making them a little bit better because I noticed that my videos aren't quite as good and in depth as my articles are. But I'm gonna change that in the future. I'm gonna make these a lot better. They're gonna be a lot longer, and I'm gonna include more information and whatnot. But anyway, that's all for this video. I'll see you guys in the next one. All right, peace.